Opening similarly to episode 5 with Cyril staring out of his window, except that time he watched the sunrise, which kind of felt like a parallel to Andor staring at the sun when leaving Ferrix. But in this episode, there is no sun, no Andor to look for, since he believes his time as a cop is over.
What is it that you hear my caller saying?
Look at me. I don't believe in myself. I am desperate for approval.
Damn, mother knows best, I guess.
We know the real shock will be when they discover how eager we are to respond.
The tension that line brings, I mean, the Empire's grip is already so tight, it's scary to think of them closing their fist even more.
Tribute tax equal to 5 times the amount stolen from Aldhani will be levied on any sector harboring partisan activity.
He just can't help but smile at the idea of punishing everyone.
Wipe the smile off your face.
Always a treat to see his genuine smile after seeing his performative one so much.
You realize what you've done?
Genevieve O'Reilly. You can practically feel her heart beating out of her chest.
The time has come to force their hand.
People will suffer.
That's the plan. I'm just saying out loud what you already know.
Brutal honesty. It's one of the more questionable things about our evolution. How many rebels, how many innocents have to die for future freedom? I don't think I'll ever get tired of this angle with a super shallow focus. Yeah, cubicles or octagicals that look cool are always going to feel just as monotonous after a week. Bertel randomly coming in with an absolute banger when Cleo walks. He just knows how to make walking seem insanely badass. And while we're on the topic, that theme for the ISB, or maybe just Dedra, is awesome.
I recruited Taramyn myself. Nemik, go on, they'll all be remembered.
That's it.
He had doubts about schemes, one less thing to worry about.
Harsh reminder that even if we get super attached to these characters, there's still many soldiers all serving in one fight against the Empire. Oh, the little droid purr.
It's been a long time and you've certainly grown up.
So everyone says.
Typical banker, no one pays me to be original.
Always gotta shout out when writers drop facts about the character this subtly.
Smile. I've learned from Palpatine.
And he gives just the most unconvincing smile. I like it though, it shows how he's not used to being this covert or anything. It's pretty foreign to him. Wow, so really everyone does that knock, don't they?
They won't be here long. They're just gonna raise their silly flag and fly away.
Ugh, Cassieing his younger self for the flashback, except for the shots directly on his face. Almost like he can't remember his teen face, only his adult face. Which I see as a kind of symbolism for how he had to grow up fast.
The garrison at Albany.
I heard that. I put on my best coat and I walked across the square with a smile on my face. If there are heroes brave enough to take on a whole Imperial garrison, I'm brave enough to stick it out here.
He really played himself here. He accidentally aided an event that would inspire his mother to stay on Ferrix and fight for the rebellion, and she dies never knowing that her own son is the reason she was inspired to fight again.
I won't have peace. I'll be worried about you all the time.
That's just love. Nothing you can do about that.
Wow, that line is just mean. Hits you right in the feels.
I'm coming back.
Andor's last words to Marva.
That's correct.
I'm correct. Your approval is heartening.
Your guidance would be welcome, sir.
Little hints of characterization for Lonnie Jung before we find out his role in the Empire and more so the rebellion.
Major Partagaz created those sectors.
Do you really think the rebels care about the lines we draw on maps?
I think the relevance of my work has been supplanted.
Systems either change or die, sir.
Thesis, please.
This line delivery. Like, if you're gonna belittle my work in front of all these people, by all means, keep going. You know I'll take any excuse to win Nicholas Bertel, even for virtually the same song.
Without a pieces?
Diego Luna's workout routine.
What do you think you're doing? You keep looking around.
Oh my god, that's Sam Witwer.
You look like you're sweating.
Well, it's hot.
Or you've been running.
Why would I be running?
Because you're a part of it.
They do love making their own stories, don't they?
This is great.
Hang on to this one for me.
He said hang.
No, you misunderstand.
The way this scene could be played is comedic or scary.
Here.
Makes sense considering no one has an ear for fake names the way you do for your real name, to the point where you can spot it if you think someone yelled it from afar.
6 years.
6 years.
Kinda love that this happens to Andor. Him being arrested not for the crimes he's actually committed, but for ones he didn't commit. Proves that sitting by and doing nothing doesn't always end well. It ties into Rogue One's theme pretty well in that manner too.
And you filed 5 false inquiries.
6, actually.
What are you doing, Mr. Khan?
Cassian Andor is a murderer and a threat to the Empire. I have been trying to find him.
So this is about public safety.
Karn's unbreaking focus on Andor and the way he's nervous at first because he doesn't know why he's there. Then he realizes she's gonna question him about Andor, and he shamelessly admits that he submitted more false reports. He's unapologetic about how dangerous he believes Andor is, and it's shown in such a subtle way here.
What's not in Lieutenant Blevins' report that I need to know?
I wasn't allowed to see the report.
You signed it.
I was given no choice.
As if Blevin being egotistical wasn't enough, he's also really ignorant, which makes Dedra's non-traditional way of doing things even more justified. This Narkina 5 theme, it just gets more and more threatening as it goes on.
Drill down, find Andor, and get a hunt started.
I also hate that I'm rooting for Mira, which is terrible because I know what she does to Bix, I just can't help it.
Welcome to Narkina 5.
Hospitality.
You'll stop filing requests for Andor.
Symmetry.
It's clear you need Andor in order to find his partner. It's also clear that whatever this is more important than the death of 2 corporate security guards. It could be a valuable asset going forward.
Cyril making more and more good cases for his motivation. Andor is capable of much more than just the killing of 2 security guards. Everything on Ferrix proved that. Cyril is also pretty good at his job, which is easy to forget when you see how emotional he is and how bad he is at speeches.
Where's your partner?
They had a tech problem on one.
I gotta talk about the Narkina 5 set and the fact that the entire thing is real, and you already know why real sets are gonna feel better than green screens. But it's also smart to capitalize on how monotonous the place looks and use that as a smart way to reuse the same set for scenes on different floors.
Ice front, I said.
Andor's curiosity just keeps getting the best of him, and it's so cool to watch him look around in fear while also very clearly analyzing his environment to make an escape plan. He's just the definition of resourcefulness.
Well, good luck feeding the galaxy. I'm off to feed myself.
Charity begins at home.
This look. Another one to the list of amazing stare downs on great Disney shows. This guy behind Cassian just keeps trying to crack his neck, and I totally get it. It's so annoying when you're so close to cracking it, and it just doesn't.
Melshi! Thinks they're getting it now streaming.
Man, Melshi really knew it before anyone else, or at least he was the first person we see to speak up about it. Fitting that he sticks with Cassian all the way till Rogue One. What a transition. Completely seamless even though 30 shifts have passed, and Andor looks like he's been through it for all 30. You can even see the number go from 2,189 to 2,159 shifts left. Some great attention to detail considering his 6-year sentence, 6 years being 2,191 days, so you could infer that it took a day to get to Narkina 5 and it was past midnight before this transition. Also, perfect way to show that whether it's 30 shifts or 300, it all feels the same eventually.
Come on, mate. You're just taking a breather.
It's like when you take a break for literally 2 seconds and your parents go into your room assuming you haven't been working at all.
The struggle will always come first. We take what's left.
Showing yet another casualty of war, the ability to maintain relationships.
What's going on?
It's Pax Yard. I'm not sure they're all over it.
The shows of camaraderie between the people in Ferrix, even 2 characters on different sides of Andor, is just so real. Man, Bix can't help looking suspicious, can she?
Garrison at Aldani. Was that you?
I was just about to ask you the same thing.
Saw Gerrera is always a win.
It may take some time to work out, but he's got an angle.
The man is an ox. Slow and stupid.
And strong.
Love to see 2 insanely good actors just killing a scene together.
The quick thing is to assume that everything you've dragged to shore is a fish. I have colleagues who believe that's the prudent mindset in defense of the Empire, but I take a more nuanced view.
Which is the worst part for the rebels. Their effectiveness hinges so much on the Empire underestimating them, treating everyone the same instead of taking the time to truly consider how dangerous the rebels are to the Empire, which is what makes Dedra scary, because she's actually self-aware.
Blowing up buildings and killing security guards. You're injured trying to warn them. Your co-worker is killed trying to win your freedom. Andor and the buyer escape together. That sounds to me like a nest of relationships. When was the last time you spoke with Cassian Andor?
And watching her list everything only we and Bix know makes this scene even scarier. It feels like our bubble as an all-knowing audience has been broken. That little muscle twitch.
You are the next man out. You are the shortest of the short.
Reminding us that Kino's not a soulless leader who's always angry, and also foreshadowing how he cares about Olaf.
Just swap your idea.
Saga, are you kidding?
Turn. Wise move.
Making your reluctant friend look good.
There's nothing intrinsically physical about this process, but we've had some early trials that were a bit chaotic.
I don't think I need to explain how terrifying Gorst is, even when he's technically being pretty polite. Like, he is reassuring her and keeping her updated on how early trials haven't gone well.
Found a section of what we believe are primarily children.
Okay, yeah, that's not polite. The way we think we'll hear the recording of the screams, but it's actually Bix's screams that scare us. Showing us something's up without telling us.
When was the last time you spoke with Cassian Andor?
Like I said, Bix goes through it this season.
Salmon Pot, I'd like to hang him. What's left of him, anyway.
Just cruel. Screw the Empire. No, better yet, fight the Empire.
And you're panicking about something that's happening on the other side of the building!
Andy Serkis yelling is always a win. Really though, he just has a great yelling voice.
The rebellion comes first. We take what's left.
Echoing Cinta's words to a T. You can tell she was hurt by it.
How many guards on each level?
Set up.
We are nothing to them. Melch is right.
I do love how terrible Kino is at hiding the fact that he's clearly in denial.
Nobody's listening!
Episode title drop. Even better when the whole episode has a theme of people not listening.
You didn't question the mother?
Better now leaving her in place and standing back. She's too old and frail for anything serious.
The relief I had after hearing they'd leave Marva alone for now.
What happened on 2?
They set them all free.
This rivalry between Melshi and Kino is perfect. One of them is a bit too hopeless, the other one's too hopeful and trusting in the Empire, but neither of them going too far to the point where it's cartoony.
Trimmed your hair. Something I should know.
Aw, someone's trying to impress an Imperial officer.
Imagine I cracked under the weight of your neglect and wasn't here now to pick up the pieces.
What an interesting relationship these two have. There's still a lot of familial love between them, but she's a bit of a toxic mother and he's a bit of a neglectful son, so you can't really blame just one of them.
Find yourself a husband?
Wasn't on my list of things to do.
Well, you need a widower at this point. Who's left of any value at your age?
Yes, all the good ones are taken.
Vel waving off that comment expertly and Mon's proud little smile.
You remember Tay Colmer?
Mother's old boyfriend?
Is that something you've told her? We were in grade school together.
And of course the 14-year-old fixates on something as elementary as an old relationship and sees it as something to worry about. Here's hoping I don't eat my words for any reason when season 2 rolls around. Really cool shot win.
Just being in your presence, I realized that life was worth living. If nothing else, there was justice and beauty in the galaxy.
Wow, he is down bad for her, but good to know that it looks like they're at least in a good place by the end of the season. I can't possibly think of a reason why I would want good things for him, but I do.
Where was he heading?
On his way to Kafrene.
They'll count him missing soon enough.
And that slight increase of screen time for Lonnie Junk to hint at his importance.
Let's go.
Encouragement. I think I just really like Anton Lesser. Looking out for each other.
Get going. Now.
Yeah, it makes sense that he just can't take the negativity right now.
His name's Olaf. I've seen him before. I can't help him. I can't help anyone.
I need a bag and a trolley.
Just come in.
So many little details. The fact that James has seen Olaf before, implying that he's needed help multiple times. Then there's the detail of James asking for a bag and a trolley and the guard immediately saying it's coming, implying that the guards know Olaf doesn't have much left in him.
I can't help anyone.
Yeah, you couldn't even help your son. Too many Harry Potter references. Yeah, that's James Potter himself.
How many guards on each level?
Never more than 12.
And payoff. The lack of hesitation when Kino responds is so satisfying too. Love this more optimistic sound for the main theme when the tensions are at its highest. It's kind of telling us what we already know, that Andor will get out of this prison, and it's instilling us with a sense of hope for the two-part finale after this. Closest thing he'll get to his own funeral.
They just killed 100 men to keep them quiet. What would you call that? I'd call that power. Power doesn't panic.
A new short and sweet quote for the ages. Power doesn't panic? Who do these writers think they are? Damn.
You don't have time to be stupid. Come on! Plan works around a new man coming down. They'll replace Olaf tomorrow. That might not happen again until it's too late. We won't have a better chance. Program.
Andor knowing he's right, trying to get it through to Kino and convincing him, but the coolest way to show how he's right is when he starts with
You don't have time to be stupid!
And ends with Kino being stupid and not being on program. I mean, he wasn't being stupid, just processing, but you get what I'm saying. He just loves cutting it real close, doesn't he?
It's a bit old, isn't it? I like new.
I know it's tasteless and cliche.
Honestly, that's fair. Old isn't always gold.
Surprised you waited this long.
And if it's a trap?
Oh, if it's a trap, we've already lost.
Yeah, the Empire doesn't really need to trap Luthen if they found out about him. I mean, it's the Empire.
Don't die till you put up a fight.
Bars. And of course, the Empire is so ignorant, they're not going to notice that he's completely drenched for no reason. It really shows the power of ignorance, since it's partially how the Empire itself got here by taking advantage of some of the Republic's ignorance. Yes! No! Sometimes I forget how well Andor fights. I'm not gonna win it again. I'm not. Oh my god, Nicholas Bertel, the score is amazing. I can't take it.
Any deviation
or failure to comply will result in unit-wide activation.
This guy was credited as voice of God, and I guess a voice filter is all you really need, so...
Turn it off!
That could mean so many things.
Conciseness.
On program! Now!
The way it looks so foreign to them is appropriately maddening.
You need to run, climb, kill! You need to help each other. You see someone who's confused, someone who's lost, you get them moving and you keep them moving until we put this place behind us.
This whole speech is a win, exposing the Empire but in a way that gives the prisoners hope, then turning it into a call to action that ends in the chant "One way out." Beautiful.
What's wrong? I'll swim.
Oof. He's still proud that he managed to rally up all these prisoners against the Empire. He can't swim and he knows that if he dove in, he would drown slowly or he would be a burden to someone else that tries to save him, so he doesn't even bother. But he doesn't feel the need to escape. Everyone has their own rebellion and he fully fought his by getting the men that he's been leading to this point. So it's almost like he's served his purpose and he's accepting that.
First of all, congratulations.
What a way to capture a vibe. The camera being uncomfortably close, sticking to one shot for an uncomfortably long time, with Lonnie sweating uncontrollably in this ugly, almost vomit green elevator, then Luthen giving what sounds like a threat. If you want to make someone tense, this is how.
My sacrifice means nothing to you.
I said I think of you constantly, and I do. Your investment in the rebellion is epic. The double life, every day a performance, the stress of that.
Luthen appreciating Lonnie's double life because he's had to live one all this time, too.
And what do you sacrifice?
Calm, kindness, kinship, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy. So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
A killer, concise, but powerful monologue that even follows the rule of threes, and oh my god, that delivery. Ugh. A mix of the hope from the last episode with a little uncertainty and a little acknowledgement of loss. Kind of musical foreshadowing that we lose someone important in this episode.
Tell me they're leaving. They're leaving.
Melshi just asking for Cassian to give him hope. If there's one way to define this two-part finale, it's holding on to hope in a desperate but strong kind of way.
What about the droid? We're gonna take her out in a minute. If you want to say goodbye, I'll have them clear the room if you want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone. I want Mama Marva.
By far the best way they could have presented her death, making you wonder what they mean by she would have wanted it that way, then the realization hitting you in the next couple lines of dialogue before I want Marva just breaks your soul. Disgusting.
Where ye be looking to run now, eh?
Not sure what department is in charge of the actors looking like they were in a really gross, sticky, wet liquid of some kind, but they killed it.
I can't leave you here alone. She wouldn't want that.
You could stay.
One night.
Brasso's just the best. He better not die.
Been a bit rugged for me lately, but, you know, they're marching over.
I really thought Mosk would die in this scene. It really just felt like what they were leading towards, but I'm glad they didn't.
I knew you'd want to...
The mystery of your former triumphs has been vanquished. I can sleep peacefully now.
Wow, she really just doesn't stop, does she?
ISB knows Krieger's plan. They'll be waiting for it.
And how do we know this?
I won't tell you that.
And Krieger, he doesn't know. How do you know I won't tell him?
I don't.
The first thing Saw asks after realizing Krieger's walking into a trap. It's just so telling that he doesn't ask further questions about how Luthen knows, he just questions Luthen's trust, why he would bother telling Saw.
Someone at ISB? Maybe there's someone here, with me.
Saw can spit.
If I were ISB Saw, why wouldn't I just send you out there with him?
Luthen always knowing the right questions to ask to stop someone arguing with him, the same way he did with Clea when she asked if Lonnie's meeting was a trap.
30 men.
Plus Krieger.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
Oh, thank you for the warning. I'll be careful.
Something so surreal watching him play the character of Luthen of Coruscant while in his normal clothes. Holy what?
Cass, I'm sorry. Your mother's dead.
The shock, the music coming in and mic'd in a way where it sounds like it's literally being played right off screen.
What if we're the only ones?
Andor holding back tears during this whole conversation is killing me. The final episode starting with the marching band on Ferrix playing the main theme is just beyond cool. This shot. I love that we cut back to him once in a while, showing how this will lead to something really big. Foreshadowing how he'll become a brick too? I gotta keep complimenting the tangibility of these machine parts. The art department is doing amazing as always.
I couldn't stand it, not being there for your mum. Why worry it though? It's not like he knows about it.
Good old reverse psychology.
You can't live without a casino? Fine. Go to Canto Bite. Do whatever it is you need to do.
This is wrong, Mom. This is people trying to take you down by coming after me.
Ugh, Mom framing parents, and she knows Cloris is listening, all to have a good reason for where the money from her bank account is going if the Empire ever looks. She's sacrificing everything, just like Luthen, even her own husband and daughter.
Come away from the window.
The way she has to pry Cinta away from the cause just for a second, even if it's only for a look between them.
Look at that, here we go. Stand back, let it drip.
A deeper, lower key version of Cassian's theme, kind of sounding more mature, which is the sweetest way to symbolize the more mature father figure with a deeper voice, the original Andor, Clem.
Freedom is a pure idea.
Calling back to the shot of Luthen's arrival in the second episode.
The Imperial need for control is so desperate because it is so unnatural. Tyranny requires constant effort. It breaks, it leaks. Authority is brittle. Oppression is the mask of fear. Remember that.
More foreshadowing that the rebels will end up winning in the end, since the Empire can't maintain the chokehold they currently have on the galaxy, not when they're outnumbered. That's part of the reason tyranny is unnatural. Also, I love that Nemik's voice goes from sounding like it's through a recording to right in our ears, showing that what he's saying is reaching Andor's own ears.
The last time I saw her, we argued. I told her I was coming back. Stop. I never should have left that morning. Stop.
First time we get to see Andor grieve since she died, and it's heartbreaking.
She told me you'd say all this. Tell him none of this is his fault. It was already burning. He's just the first spark of the fire. Tell him he knows everything he needs to know and feels everything he needs to feel. And when the day comes that those two pull together, he will be an unstoppable force for good. Tell him I love him more than anything he could ever do wrong.
Ooh, tears are flowing. Aw, Moss giving Cyril the orange cap seemingly out of respect, like he's saying, you're still Deputy Inspector to me.
You just need them dead before they start asking questions.
Luthen's not risking anything, and killing Andor is a surprisingly rational move from his perspective, even though no one wants that to happen. This piece is called Forming Up, Unto Stone We Are, which is just a beautiful name, and it's a really great funeral melody before they actually play what I've been considering the Ferrix motif. Oh, the goosebumps. There's that Ferrix motif in the band walking forward so confidently while playing it is so powerful. Bix still trying her best to support the ceremony after everything she's been through.
With their truth.
The way Past Present Suite is reprised a third and final time in a way that'll end bigger than ever, while Marva's speech where she reflects on people in her own life that have died, and the way it moves everyone, even Nurchi.
It's because I want you to go on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time Bix is hearing that Marva's dead, so this is news for her too.
The Empire is a disease that thrives in darkness. It is never more alive than when we sleep.
He looks like he's genuinely holding back tears, which hurts even more when you realize you haven't seen him mourn his late father either. I really hope we can see more of him and Andor in the future seasons or something, because their childhood seem parallel in a lot of moments.
Fight the Empire!
So the original line was F the Empire, and as cool as it would have been for shock value, I think Fight the Empire is just a better call to action.
Stop down! Make it stop now!
The stormtrooper just chilling while this whole riot is happening in front of him. Those shots from the beginning finally paying off, and you get why there was so much buildup now. He probably did something really dangerous and pretty reckless in hindsight, but it's for the rebellion nonetheless. Always gonna hate the show for this. Yes.
Cyril, I knew that.
Love? I don't know, some kind of romance.
I'm counting on you.
You always say that.
And you always come through.
Can this show please stop with constantly making me want to cry?
He'll find us. Cassian will find us.
Hope.
Kill me. Or take me in.
The perfect timing of the more optimistic part of Luthen's theme coming in right when he smiles. Andor is by far some of the best Star Wars TV we've ever gotten. Some of the best Star Wars content, period. I know Clone Wars, Mando, and Revenge of the Sith exists, but if you look not just at the story, but at the production value of the real sets, amazing VFX, the lighting and cinematography, the dialogue, and yet another unique Star Wars score that doesn't try to sound like John Williams' music. Yeah, it'll probably never be as iconic as the cultural events that Star Wars has had, like Empire or Revenge of the Sith. It'll never be that, and it doesn't need to be. It can be the show that a good portion of the fanbase sleeps on because there aren't any Jedi, or it's a show about a random side character. I mean, that's why I didn't watch it for a while, I'll admit that, but I really hope more people watch this show, and I hope we see more of this mature side of the rebellion, this side of Star Wars in general. If this show proves anything like most of Star Wars, hope is the biggest thing you can do. What'd you guys think of Andor Season 1? Let me know in the comments. As always, you guys are an absolute win, and I'll see you soon.